Rise and shine, Mr. Freeman. Rise and shine.
Hello YouTube. It doesn't matter what end you start researching first, whether it be government, history, space, NASA, technology, religion, spirituality, or even culture. It will point to the same conclusion. We are under control, and we have been kept under control for thousands of years. It's such a large topic, I will try to skim through a lot. So let's start with Rome. The Roman Republic was a very successful government, almost 500 years. In comparison to the United States of America, around 250 years. Rome left us with many things we know and love today: roads, architecture, aqueducts and sewers, jewelry, entertainment, structured government, and countless other things, including Catholicism. Doc Marcus wrote a book entitled The Secrets of the Illuminati. Doc, while this topic has been explored before, no author has been able to bring the truly occultic angle to this discussion. In other words, Marcus looks at it, the plan to bring in the New World Order from the viewpoint of a former witch. In his book, Marcus includes a chapter entitled, Is it Catholicism or Witchcraft? At the beginning of this chapter, Marcus makes a quite startling statement. I must emphatically state that Catholicism and witchcraft are one and the same. There is no difference between witchcraft and Catholicism. Then Marcus examines Catholicism and witchcraft from the vantage point of a former witch. Doc Marcus identifies several critically important areas in which the practice of Roman Catholicism and witchcraft are identical. We will first look at these areas of commonality and then comment specifically upon these common areas. Number 1, the altar. 2, the golden goblet known as the chalice. 3, colored candles used in service. 4, the use of incense. 5, the use of bells in the ceremony. 6, praying to statues. 7, the use of Latin in services. 8, the use of the golden scepter, giving large blessings to the people. 9, the common belief in purgatory. 10, the common belief in the host. And 11, common belief in the 5 elements. Now let's examine each of the areas of commonality. 1, the altar in every Catholic church is prominently positioned in the front of the church. The mysteries of the Mass are celebrated on and around the altar. In witchcraft also, the altar is similarly used for 3 purposes. 1, to practice certain mystical rites such as casting certain spells or to honor occult deities. 2, to hold the tools of magic. 3, to perform human sacrifice. The Roman Catholic altar also holds the tools of their magic and the daily perform human sacrifice. Remember, we are looking at this subject through the eyes of a former high-level witch who is now a born-again Christian. This daily human sacrifice is performed according to the false belief in transubstantiation, the belief that the priest magically transforms the wafer of Jesus, into the body of Jesus and the wine into his blood. Marcus states, in other words, every day Christ is being reincarnated and then sacrificed. They perform daily their human sacrifice, in which Christ is sacrificed for their sins. It is shocking to realize that the Roman Catholics are daily performing human sacrifice in the same manner similar to that of witches throughout the centuries. 2, the Catholic golden goblet or chalice. It is this cup that the wine poured into becomes the literal blood of Christ. When a witch does a human sacrifice, after the victim's throat has been slit open, the spilled blood will be collected in a chalice, just as the Catholics do, except this witch's chalice holds the real thing. In Satan's eyes, the Catholics are performing the same rite as the witches. 3. Candles were introduced to Catholic Mass in about 320 AD. There's no scriptural reason for them unless you're a practicing witch. Below is a list of different colored candles a witch would use throughout the year. See if you can recall any of these colors used during a Catholic Mass. White, purity, truth, serenity. Red, strength, vigor, health, sexual love. Light blue, tranquility, understanding, patience. Dark blue, impulsiveness, depression, change. Green, finance, fertility, luck. Gold or yellow, persuasion, charm, confidence. Brown, hesitation, uncertainty. Pink, honor, love, morality. Black, evil, loss, discord, confusion. Purple, tension, ambition, power. Silver, gray, cancellation, stalemate. Orange, encouragement, stimulation. Greenish yellow, sickness, anger, jealousy. 4. Incense is a constant tool used by the priests. They will take the filtered incense burner, walk around the altar, and then wave it out toward the crowd with an invocation. Not only do witches use incense, but they will concentrate their altar and their fellow witches in the exact same way Catholics do. Bells are also used by both Roman Catholics and witches. The bells are actually baptized, and both in witchcraft and Catholicism, altar boys attend the priests in sounding the bells. 6. Witches were praying to images or statues for many centuries before Catholics began the practice. 7. Until recently, most of the rites of witchcraft were said in Latin. Why is it when the witches stopped using Latin as much as they did about 20 years ago that the Catholic Mass was stopped being told in Latin? Today it is spoken mostly in American English, the same way a witch's Mass is held. 8. When the Pope's cardinals or priests want to give a huge blessing, they will take out the golden scepter or wand, dip it in holy water, and then wave it on the people. Wands are nothing new to the occult. When a witch wants to direct his power, he can do it by means of wands. He can also control the demonic forces at his disposal by using a wand to concentrate a circle with a pentacle inside. Holy water is also used by a witch to purify himself and his instruments. And the water is made holy in both witchcraft and Catholicism by mixing water with salt. 9. The teaching of purgatory is not found in the Bible. According to Catholic Catholicism, purgatory is described as a logically deduced place. Since the Catholic could not go straight to heaven if he had sinned, and since he could not go to hell if he had not died in mortal sin, there had to be a place in between where he could be purified. Purgatory, however, the belief in purgatory is totally occult in origin, which is witchcraft teaches that after a person goes through purgatory, he is reincarnated and is more powerful in the next life than he was before. After several reincarnations, he will become purified enough to live with the gods and goddesses, precisely the same end as the Catholic teach. Both Catholics and witches teach that the host becomes the actual body of their respective gods. To the Roman Catholic, the host becomes the actual body of Jesus Christ. The witch believes that the host actually becomes the body of their pagan deity, IHS or Iris, Horus, and Sermanes. This concept is known in both circles as transubstantiation. Both witchcraft and Roman Catholicism teach that the universe is comprised of 5 elements: spirit, water, air, fire, and earth. The occult 5 elements are also found in the Catholic Mass. Spirit, the water of God. Spirit, the wafer of God they sacrifice daily. Water, holy water they use to purify and baptize. Air is symbolically used through the incense. Fire used in tangent with the incense burning. Earth, the elements of the water come from the earth in agriculture, and the flesh of their sacrificed deity, Jesus Christ, also came from the earth. Dark Marx's conclusion is insatiable and damning. The practice of occultism has come full circle from ancient Babylon to Roman Catholic institution today. Interesting guy he is. Now let's get into religion, not to be confused with spirituality. Most soul religions contain only a small portion of the real goings-on of spirituality. Religion, like most things in the modern world, has been twisted and cut or flat out made up for the purpose of controlling the public. What is the basic purpose of religion? Religion is designed to focus the people's attention and energies on a single, unchanging, uncompromising, and invisible supreme being. This keeps the followers in a contained state of fear and compliance. Sounds like I'm going back and forth here. How can you talk about occult and Catholicism in one hand, and the other say that religion is designed to control? It is important to note that I am not an atheist, nor do I claim any one religion. I was raised under a Christian background, and that gave me the basic understandings of religion in general. I was also extremely skeptical about anything I was told, and always used any info gathered to come to my own conclusion. I also always had a problem with authority. All of those things, some more than others, have led me to the conclusion that the entire world is and has been under pagan, spiritual, evil, supernatural, magical control, and pretty much has been since the fall of Rome. We have come full circle from ancient Babylon, just as Doc stated. The ways and ideals of Rome did not fall with the empire. They just hid and regrouped, creating organizations like the Bilderbergs, stonemasons, the Illuminati, the Skull and Bone Society, still controlling the world from the sidelines, while simultaneously creating the illusion of freedom in the modern world. It is no different nowadays than ancient Rome, having the slaves cater to the citizens. The modern blue-collar minimum wage worker is the equivalent to a slave. The average American in the year 2016 was a fragile existence, in the struggle for survival that can be ended by missing a few paychecks. The carrot at the end of the stick, which was formerly known as the American Dream, has been replaced by a whip that can best be described as the American nightmare of homelessness and slow, early death. You no longer work to achieve a better life for yourselves and your children. You work to keep a roof over your head, and you pray that you don't lose it. You become a slave when fear replaces incentive as your motivation to work. You're already working much longer, much harder, to achieve a much lower standard of living than the previous generation, and 25% of working Americans can no longer even get a vacation. The Social Security retirement age has been raised to match the life expectancy of American males, so apparently you're expected to work until you're dead.